Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have direct evidence that climate change is influencing the spread of COVID-19, but we do know that climate change alters how we relate to other species on Earth, and that matters to our health and our risk for infections. As the planet heats up, animals, big and small, on land and in the sea, are headed to the poles to get out of the heat. That means animals are coming into contact with other animals they normally wouldn't, and creates an opportunity for pathogens to get into new homes.
Many of the root causes of climate change also increase the risk of pandemics. Deforestation, which occurs mostly for agricultural purposes, is the largest cause of habitat loss worldwide. Loss of habitat forces animals to migrate and potentially contact other animals or people and share germs. Large livestock farms can also serve as a source for spillover of infections from animals to people. Less demand for animal meat and more sustainable animal husbandry could decrease emerging infectious disease risk and lower greenhouse gas emissions. We have many reasons to take climate action to improve our health, and reducing risk for infectious disease emergence is one of them.
We are now ready to begin the proceedings of the said program. Let us all stand for the singing of our national anthem, after which kindly remain standing for our invocation, all of which are going to be presented virtually.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Bayang magiliw, pero sa silanganan, alap ng puso, sa libig mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyan ka ng makitid, sa manlulupi, di ka pasisiil, sa ragat at puno, sa simoy, sa langit mong bughaw, may ilag ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang isnat ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning. Ang bituin na araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng ating pagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Aming di kaya na pa, may mga api at mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Dear God, we praise and honor you as the Lord of our lives and the Lord over all the earth and beyond. We pray, O God, for your mercy and forgiveness, especially in times when we forget about you and fail to follow your word. O God, we thank you for coming into our lives and remind us that there is always hope for those who pray and believe. For all that we have, our lives, our work, our families, our neighbors, our co-workers, our friends, and even those against us, for whom we also pray. Thank you. O God, as one family, as one Department of Education, teach us to serve you and your people without counting the cost. Teach us to humble ourselves in the name of public service and serve others above our personal interests. And help us to put our faith in action and see you in everything we do and all those we serve, especially our learners, the heart of DepEd. Guide and lead our learners, teachers, administrators and staff, family, community, and stakeholders to become faithful to our core values of makadiyos, makatao, makakalikasan, and makabansa, and enable us to contribute to building the nation and the world, and to make us worthy stewards of all your creation. We bring back all the glory and honor to you, O Lord, our God. Amen.
You may take your seats, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to Adapting to the Challenge of Time, Greening and Transforming School Environments, a Majestic Garden Project and Discovery. I am Richard Dragon of DepEd Region 10, and my partner over here is...
Good morning, everyone. I am Ryan Blanco of DepEd CDO Division. Thank you, Kaayo Sir Chard, for inviting me as your co-host this morning.
No problem, Sir Rai. We are live right now via Facebook through Department of Education Region 10 Facebook and cross-posted via DepEd Philippines Facebook page. And Sir Rai, we will be acknowledging our people from the audience, starting with... Of course, I would like to acknowledge and recognize the support of our regional office personnel headed by our regional director, RD Arturo Bayocot, CESO 3, ARD Victor de Gracia Jr., CESO 5, our OIC Chief of the Education Support Services Division, Chief Myron Talosig, CESE, and the rest of the Education Support Services Division personnel and the entire regional office personnel who are with us this morning. Is that right?
Okay. We'd like to acknowledge also our Schools Division Superintendent for Oroqueta City Division. We have Dr. Reynaldo Manuel, and likewise the Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Roberto Napiere, and of course the Schools Division Superintendent of Balay City Division. We have Dr. Vicky Gazo and Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Aliena S. Dajay.
Yes, Sir Rai. And of course, we would also like to acknowledge the presence of our SGOD chiefs of our featured divisions this morning. For the division of Oroqueta City, we are blessed and graced today with SGOD Chief Perlinita Gloduve. And for the division of Balay City, we are with SGOD Chief Sir Lorenzo Capacio. Good morning. And also, we would like to recognize and acknowledge the participation and attendance of all of our division coordinators, especially our division host today, our very busy division coordinators, DRM coordinators of Oroqueta and Balay City, namely Ma'am Connie Centino and Sir Jim Dandy Lucini.
Yes. Of course, we'd like to proceed, Sir Chard, with our comments and shout-outs coming from our Facebook Live. Sir, could we have it posted? Okay.
Yes.
Sir Chard, could you start?
Yes, we have from Sir Reggie Dalugao. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Also from Sir Jay Ruferos. Good morning. Mayong buntag ya, Sir Jay.
Good morning, Sir Jay from Oroqueta City. Of course, we have Ma'am Inay Magna. Good morning, watching from PVNHS Balay City.
We also have from Mary Chris Paler Abe. Good morning, watching from Isidro Ditan Elementary School of Tangub City Division.
Hello there from Tangub City Division. Of course, we are reaching the entire divisions of Region 10, and we are also reaching the wider audience nationally. Also watching from the Orchard City of the South, Sir Rino Tadashi. Sir, good morning.
And good morning, everyone. Coming from Ma'am Alna Gomez Takan, watching from the Pine Central Elementary School from Oroqueta City Division. Ma'am, maayong buntag niya.
And of course, we also have Ma'am Annalyn Babayson Banag watching from SDO Camiguin. Hello there,
Yes.
SDO Camiguin people.
And lastly, coming from Ma'am Tinker Bell, good morning, watching from Pulot National High School from Usamis City Division.
Wow, so I guess we have a lot of audiences already in attendance, Sir Rai, and we are blessed for that. We are thankful for that. We'd like to acknowledge, of course, and recognize all of those who are in attendance, who are viewing us via Facebook Live, and not to forget, of course, our teachers, our learners, and school heads who are in full support of this Regional Climate Change Caravan of the Department of Education Region 10.
Okay. So with that, we would like to proceed right now, Sir Char, to an opening remarks coming from the very reliable OIC Chief of ESSD. Help me welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Myron Hill D. Talosig CESE. Sir, take it away.
Thank you, Ryan and Richard. Good morning. Again, I am Myron Talosig, lead staff of the Education Support Services Division of DepEd Region 10. I am excited to open this Regional Climate Change Caravan 2021. And I am also fascinated to have with us in our midst today our DepEd officials from the DepEd Central Office, to mention Undersecretary Alain Del Pascua, Undersecretary Diosdado San Antonio, Director Ronilda Co of the Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Service, and of course, our Northern Mindanao DepEd officials, headed by RD Art Bayocot, Assistant Regional Director Victor de Gracia, SDS Reynaldo Manuel, SDS Victoria Gazo, ASDS Aliena Dajay, ASDS Robert Napiere, and our chiefs from SGOD, Ma'am Perlinita Gloduve, and Sir Lorenzo Capacio, and to all DepEd officials from the various division offices. And of course, our honored guests who are with us today, our partners and speakers of today, and to all participants via Facebook Live, not only here in the region but also nationwide. Maayong buntag sa atong tanan. I wish we could have held this at a better time and under more favorable circumstances. But your presence today demonstrates our commitment to work together for a safer and child-friendly learning environment regardless of the situation. And somehow there is a connection between the circumstances and our commitment to a healthier and greener planet, which might be less prone to propagating deadly disease, especially in our school communities. How badly we live at the environment's expense may be at the root of this crisis. And this may actually be the second virtual regional climate change caravan in the department's history. I congratulate the teams from both the DepEd DRM coordinators and the invited speakers for reaching elements essential for the success of the caravan and for pursuing this learning session or sharing session despite the limitations. Since 2018, the Department of Education has been conducting information and education advocacies on climate change through its partnership with national government agencies, local government units, and other institutions and individuals from the private sector. The Regional Climate Change Caravan has facilitated sharing of information on best and emerging practices on climate change, adaptation, and mitigation, especially those initiated in the school communities or affecting our schools, and where children and the youth could make a change in contributing to a resilient community. The Caravan has introduced innovative, inclusive, sustainable, and environment-friendly interventions in the programs and projects of the schools, such as those which will be shared later this morning by the schools division offices of Oroqueta City and Malaybalay City, including our honored guests. This activity today not only provides the information on why we do climate change adaptation and mitigation, but also highlights concrete examples of how our various schools and communities in the region contributed to making our communities safer, sustainable, and more resilient. We thank the leadership of the schools divisions who are here today, led by their schools division superintendents, officials, local officials, and personnel for their greening initiatives, documentary videos on their projects, and the sharing of nature consciousness and gardening trends, which we hope to inspire and encourage the rest of the schools in the region into coming up with sensitive policies and plans to bring us closer to the safe and child-friendly environment we hope for our children and school personnel. We acknowledge the support of our partner from the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, ably led by the Executive Regional Director of DENR Regional Office 10, Director Arley Adorable. Thank you for your support. We hope that this activity we are conducting today aligns with your vision and mandate for a healthier and greener planet, as well as to fulfilling the concept of intergenerational responsibility as enunciated by a Supreme Court ruling in protecting the environment today and of the future. Isn't this exciting? A half-day filled of key personalities and key insights to help us navigate through this pandemic with the end in view of creating a better community for our future. Friends, for the climate change adaptation, I look forward for our future. I look forward to meeting you here in the regional office or somewhere else in the future if and when the situation permits. In the meantime, I ask every one of you listening or watching us today to get those headsets of yours, kagaya sa akin. Sit back, relax, grab your favorite drinks and snacks, invite your friends and colleagues to listen to the sharing of our distinguished guests on how we could build back better. On behalf of the DepEd Region 10 Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Coordinators from the regional office and the division offices, including our regional director, welcome to this caravan at mabuhay po tayong lahat. Thank you, Richard and Ryan.
Thank you so much, Chief Myron, for that very engaging and very insightful opening remarks. That give us actually an official opening of the Regional Climate Change Caravan of DepEd Region 10. Next in line are inspirational messages. First is from USEC Justado M. San Antonio, the Undersecretary for Curriculum and Instruction.
Secretary of Education, Professor Emeritus Leonor Magtolis Briones, is glad to be able to join you in celebrating the 14th Global Warming and Climate Change Consciousness Week. Climate change is a real thing. It is the biggest threat we are facing right now. Every day, we are seeing new and undeniable climate events. The world is getting hotter. The sea levels are rising faster than ever. Natural disasters are becoming more frequent or severe. As climate change worsens, we are all in danger. It can directly harm humans and animals, destroy the places where we live, and ruin people's livelihood and communities. What I mentioned above is not an overstatement, but this is the reality, and we must act now. To strengthen advocacy in fighting against climate change, the Department of Education, through the Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Service, ably headed by Director Ronnie Cook, empowers different education stakeholders through their initiative and participation in the Regional Climate Change Caravan. Through this, the stakeholders will be showcasing their climate change adaptation and mitigation initiatives in the basic education sector. This will serve as an essential platform for the learners to build initiative on climate action. The Secretary of Education is sure everyone is excited for this event. Why? Because this will be evidence of progress, a progress that will lead us to reach our goals towards climate action. Let the learners' voices be heard for the brighter future that awaits them. Together we can. Together we fight climate change.
And we are very much honored that our very own Undersecretary for Administration is also with us, right? A virtual applause for USEC Elaine Del B. Pasqua.
In the past years, we have all experienced various impacts of climate change, such as annual losses in GDP, changes in rainfall distribution and patterns, droughts, various threats to biodiversity and food security, sea level rise, public health risks, and endangerment of vulnerable groups such as women and indigenous people. This is not hysteria. It is truly happening in our country and the rest of the world. With all the impacts of climate change affecting our country, building steps towards climate action has become an honorable act. It takes passion and dedication to move forward. Napakahalaga at talagang may pagmamalaki ang inyong pagdalo at partisipasyon sa ating Regional Climate Change Caravan at ang inyong kagustuhang gumawa ng makabuluhang pagbabago. Let us continue the fight against climate change. Tayo sa kagawaran ng edukasyon, sa pamumuno ng Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Service, ay ganap na nakatuon na samahan at suportahan kayo sa layuning ito. Let us reach out our full potential towards climate action. If we do this now, we can save our planet, and together we can make a difference. I would like to express my warmest appreciation to the initiative and hard work of the different stakeholders and organizers of this event, to the DepEd, DRRMS for making this regional climate change caravan possible despite these trying times. And today, you all have made a step towards climate action, and it is something you should be very proud of. Sama-sama tayong gumawa ng pagbabago para sa ikabubuti ng ating mundo. Mabuhay tayong lahat.
Once again, our utmost gratitude to both USEC Diosdado L. San Antonio and USEC Alain del Pascua for gracing our event this morning. You know what, Sir Chard? That was just a teaser, as we have a message of support coming from the very vibrant Director 4 of DRRMS. A booming applause for Director Reynaldo R. Cole.
To the Regional Director, Regional DRMS Coordinator, Schools Division Superintendents, Division DRM Coordinators, School Heads, School DRM Coordinators, Teachers, Learners, and guests. Good day po sa inyong lahat. We in the Department of Education, through the Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Service, would like to thank all the participants from the Regional and Schools Division for this year's Regional Climate Change Caravan. We know that this is an opportunity that has strengthened everyone's knowledge and skills to stop climate change. We are glad and honored that we are all in this journey together. Climate change is indeed a social issue. In the latest IPCC report, it states global warming of 1.5 degrees Celsius and even 2 degrees Celsius will be exceeded during the 21st century unless deep reductions in carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gas emissions occur in the coming decades. But we all know that climate change is more than an environmental crisis. A research conducted by the International Organization for Migration suggested that climate emergency is not just a scientific problem, but a social problem. In the Philippines, those who are in the most vulnerable sectors of society include the farmers, fisher folks, women, older persons, and the urban poor, who would be significantly or severely affected by the effects of climate change. Farmers and fisher folks are severely impacted by slow and rapid onset events. 80% of the people displaced are women. Older people are vulnerable as they cannot move around. and the urban poor are affected as they cannot adapt immediately to its effects. Recently, our countrymen felt the harshness of severe tropical storm Maring and tropical depression Lani. And this caused major damages in different regions of the Philippines. Now, more than ever, we are seeing the face of climate crisis in the form of heavier typhoons, floods, and more hazards. The United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, or UNICEF, reported that children are one of the most vulnerable groups in society. The nature of their vulnerability to climate change is multidimensional. It is shaped largely by the physical, cognitive, and physiological sensitivities and changes that take place over the course of childhood. It is their right to have full protection against climate change. Together, let us protect our children by taking initiatives towards climate action. The Department of Education, through the Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Service, continues to achieve goals toward actions on climate change through the projects, plans, and activities of the Climate Change Mitigation and Adaptation Program of the DRRMS. Our major outcome in DRRMS is to empower the Filipino youth to become resilient and enjoy and exercise their rights to be safe and protected. We've been engaging with the youth to champion them towards climate action through our programs such as Change the Current, Climate Action Online Training for Adolescents, the Green Bit Initiative, Environmental Journalism Online Training for high school campus journalists and their school paper advisors, Kalikasan, Online Training for high school learners and teachers, and 5th National Climate Change Conference, as well as our booklet for climate action stories of children written by children. To enable more youth to engage in climate action, we're also integrating climate change in the curriculum and developing learning materials such as the microsite on curated resources for teaching climate change, Samot Saring Buhay, a toolkit on Philippine biodiversity, and Kalikasan, Likha at Lakas ng Kabataan para sa Kalikasan, a creative source book on the use of theater climate change education and action. The Regional Climate Change Caravan gives us the best platform right now to discuss climate change in the field and provide a platform for our learners to participate. Today, let us together work to empower the youth and take steps toward climate action and education. The Regional Climate Change Caravan gives us the best platform right now to discuss climate change. Let us maximize this opportunity to gain more knowledge and discover innovative solutions for a brighter future and save the world from climate change. Children will be our great companions in this battle. They are great learners and can be the greatest asset of society on climate action. Children have the best voices to be heard in fighting against climate change. As Greta Thunberg said, we are united and that we, young people, are unstoppable. The moment we decide to fulfill something, we can do anything. The children is not the future, but they are here and now. And today, our role is to be their confidant and their greatest support to fight against climate change. Let us equip ourselves with knowledge to help our learners become climate change champions. Let us support their efforts and advocacy. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you very much, Director Ronnie. Sir Chard?
And now, Sir Rai, our very own epitome of excellence and resilience here in DepEd Region 10 would give his message to all of us. A resounding virtual applause for RD Arturo B. Bayocot, CESO 3.
Isang mapayapa, progresibo at makakalikasang araw po sa ating lahat. Mula dito sa amin sa Kagawaran ng Edukasyon sa amihan ng Mindanao. Stewardship of biodiversity for climate stability is a real challenge, a wonderful opportunity, and a collective responsibility. To be a steward of biodiversity for climate stability is a challenge because unless we clearly understand how climate change affects our ecosystems, how these changes in our natural ecosystems threaten our biodiversity worldwide, and how these problems consequently impact our very existence on Earth, we will not be able to execute our roles effectively with dignity and honor. To be a steward of biodiversity for climate stability is also an opportunity. That is why we are grateful for this online celebration of the 5th National Climate Change Conference, which affords us a wonderful platform to create meaningful change and help all of us gain a deeper appreciation and awareness of our country's vast biodiversity. And yes, to be a steward of biodiversity for climate stability is a responsibility, not only of one person or a few, but of everyone. As tenants and caretakers of this planet, it is our duty to find beneficial, practicable, and sustainable means to manage, restore, and protect our ecosystems, thereby supporting climate change mitigation and adaptation interventions. In this collective responsibility, our genuine, full, and active participation in all efforts towards climate stability is not only necessary, but also beneficial. It is therefore our prime duty as educators and leaders to reinforce the role of our learners on stewardship of biodiversity for climate stability by developing in them the 21st century skills such as leadership and problem-solving skills and the core value of makakalikasan which we in DepEd live by. As future leaders of the world and recipient of tomorrow's planet, the youth can actively engage and even take the lead in various climate education acts and other relevant worthy causes toward climate stability. Hence, together with my DepEd 10 family, I march with our youth, with all of you, and all the planet warriors towards ecological and societal resilience. Like you, I'm a steward of biodiversity for climate stability. Muli, isang mapayapa, progresibo, at makakalikasang araw po sa ating lahat. Marami pong salamat.
Thank you once again, RD for that highly motivating us in this most challenging times. We will now witness a video presentation that shows all the DepEd Region 10's climate change adaptation initiatives. Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen.
At this part of our program for this morning, Sir Rai, live right now from the city of Good Life, the division of Oroqueta City. Yet, DepEd Region 10 is so much proud to present the Project Guapa, a legacy rooted from the past Oroqueta City division.
Let us all watch this captivating teaser, ladies and gentlemen, from the city of Good Life. Enjoy. napakahalaga po na pag-usapan natin ngayon dahil lahat tayo ay may ambag at lahat tayo ay may pakinabang dito.
Tama ka dyan, partner, dahil ngayong araw, pag-uusapan natin ang tungkol sa climate change at kung ano na ang nagawa, ginagawa at gagawin pa ng kagawaran kasama ng ating mga LGU partners.
Tama ka, Sir Chard. Seryosong usapin talaga ang tungkol sa climate change dahil lahat tayo ay apektado nito. Sa pagbabago ng klima, lahat tayo ay may obligasyon para maibsan ang epekto nito. At Sir Chard, kung may naimbag tayo, abay, lahat tayo ay may pakinabang.
Yes, sir, right. When we come back, we will get to know the different initiatives of the city government of Oroquieta that has made the city one of the awardees of the Clean and Green City in the Philippines.
Yes, and we'll get to know also how the city initiated its programs and activities to mitigate climate change. And of course, to protect the watershed of the city.
Very interesting po ang pag-uusapan natin ngayong araw na ito. Pero bago natin yan talakayin, let's all watch this.
Isla sa Mindanao, mumuswag mo asenso. Ang dakbayan, piniyahan sa atong Ginoo. Tanang katawhan, nagagkahiyong sa hiniyang atong dakbayan. Dali na ngayon na imong tutulong. City of Good Life ang paladan. Manindot na dapit, may kanaong katawhan. Malambon na dakbayan. Pagkaga, Oroquieta na abante, Oroquieta na tuloy. Ikaw na kupitan, Oroquieta. Pagkaga, Oroquieta na abante, Oroquieta na tuloy. Ikaw na kupitan, Oroquieta. Mali tayo na, mausap ang Oroquieta. Sentro sa negosyo, naguna sa turismo. Balanseng mo asenso, naghanong trabaho. Sa kahusay, kung sa kalimpyo, makita sa atong dakbayan. Dali na diri, kay sadya mati. Pamahal pag nabi-abi, mabati pirmi. Tungod ang kaswagan sa samsa. Aliena, Aliena. Pagkaba, Oroquieta na abante, Oroquieta na tuloy. Ikaw na kupitan, Oroquieta. Pagkaba, Oroquieta na abante, Oroquieta na tuloy. Ikaw na kupitan, Oroquieta. Mali tayo na, mauswag ang Oroquieta. Sa sansa, tahan sa Ginoo. Ikaw, respeto, ipagkita nato. Kausalan alang sa tanan. Pagkaka, Oroquieta na abante, Oroquieta na tuloy. Ikaw na kupitan, Oroquieta. Pagkaka, Oroquieta na abante, Oroquieta na tuloy. Ikaw na kupitan, Oroquieta. Mali tayo na, mauswag mo ka, Oroquieta.
Thank you very much. And that was from the division of Oroquieta City. And now we're going to proceed to our panel discussion. Sir Chard, makakasama po natin ngayon ang ating Schools Division Superintendent ng Division of Oroquieta City, who is very passionate about environmental protection and disaster risk reduction management, lalo na ang patungkol sa climate change mitigation. Please help me welcome Dr. Reynaldo E. Manuel Jr., CESE.
Also joining us is the supportive SGOD Chief of the Division of Oroquieta City na siyang nangangasiwa sa lahat ng plano, programa at gawain patungkol sa DRRM at Climate Change Adaptation and Mitigation, SGOD Chief Perlinita L. Gloduve.
We also have with us the First Lady of Oroqueta City, who happened to be the daughter of the former mayor of the city, who was renowned for initiating the Clean and Green program in the locality. We are really privileged to have with us right now, Madam Nanieth Maerl Bandala Acosta.
And of course, makakasama rin natin ang isa sa mga LGU recipients ng greening program ng lungsod ng Oroqueta, ang punong barangay ng Binuwangan, Honorable Carlito L. Edubala.
Good morning po sa lahat and welcome po sa ating programa.
Yes, Sir Rai. And una nating tatanungin ang First Lady ng lungsod ng Oroqueta, Madam Nanieth Maerl Bandala Acosta. Good morning po, Madam, and welcome sa ating program. Nakamute.
Wait po muna, ma'am. Medyo nakamute po tayo from Oroqueta City Division. We'd like to ask IC, okay. That would be okay. Ma'am Nanieth, please.
Go ahead po.
Go ahead po.
Okay, good morning again, Sir Richard and Sir Ryan. It is our pleasure to be invited as guests in your program. And it would be an opportunity for us not only to showcase the best of Oroqueta City, but of course to inform the public on the transcending initiatives of my parents and of my husband, City Mayor Honorable Lemuel Merrick M. Acosta, about the activities and programs on the protection and conservation of the watershed of the city and the livelihood sustainability of the people.
Madam Nanieth, your father, the late former Mayor Ernie F. Bandala, and of course your mother, also former Mayor Nancy S. Bandala, were so driven on the protection and conservation of the watershed of the city. In fact, your city is known about its greening program. What motivated your parents to push for that program? But before you answer the question, let us take a look first at this video. Take it away.
The proposed forest park for Oroqueta City. Nag-comprise siya of different species of trees. Na dipterocarp na po yung mga commercial trees, but mostly dominated are the pulayo trees.
Okay.
And we are happy na dagang pulayo trees because mas paspas siya kung atong ipadaghan. So natay nursery sa area, natay giant bamboo mo ginagamit nato for riverbank rehab, and naputay mga ratan na usa siya sa output sa una ng mga project ni Mayor Ernie Bandala during sa BCSP na project. City of Oroqueta, through the City Environment Office, is adopting a ridge to reef approach in protection, conservation, and preservation of the environment. And we are very thankful because these 6 hectares of land is owned by the city. And as we all know, we are facing now the challenge of climate change.
Yes.
So hopefully, soon to be declared as forest park, and mahimo po siya na mahimo siyang usa ka ecotourism destination. When we talk about climate change, it talks about one is the carbon sequestration. No? So as we all know, daghang mga factories sa laing lugar, and most especially ang tao nga nasa Oroqueta nga makalanghap og maayong hangin. Yes. And pag maayo ato ang environment, yung nani atong environment, daghang mga kahoy. So ang pag-sequester sa carbon, ang dagan sa atong kahanginan is nindot, and usa po na sir is makababalik na to atong biodiversity in terms of like mga birds na wala na to nakita sa atong sentro sa atong syudad sir.
Wow. So, Madam Nanieth, Oroqueta City has a reserved forest, which can also be translated into one of the best eco-park and ecotourism destinations of the country.
Yes, Sir Richard and Sir Ryan. Oroqueta City is so blessed with reserved forests and rich flora and fauna. That is why Papa and Mama were determined to save and protect the forest or the watershed of the city. It is the source of life. Everything that the city is enjoying now is sourced from our protective forests. Mayor Ernie or Papa conceptualized and operated the greening program because he wanted to have a sustainable development that as the city grows economically, Our forest, our watershed is being protected and cultivated. Papa wanted to ensure livelihood sustainability among its constituents. And so, he thought of empowering the barangays through the Barangay Self-Sufficiency Program, or the BSSP. Through the program, the barangay was taught of finding a sustainable income through agriculture at the same time of conserving the environment through tree planting.
Okay. So with that, it really shows how good leaders have great plans. Congratulations po, Madam Nanieth. And let me ask this time around our Honorable Barangay Captain Carlito L. Edubala. Sir, how beneficial is the BSSP or Barangay Self-Sufficiency Program to your community?
Magandang araw po sa inyo, Sir Ryan and Sir Richard. Through the BSSP, City taught our barangay on how to increase our income. But if you clearly analyze it, the intention is not totally and livelihood sustainability, but more on sheer responsibility. The LGU provided us the needed resources, and it is our turn to give back what we have harvested. Sa BSSP, nakapagtanim na kami ng maraming native trees tulad ng kulayo, nara, mahogany, palkata, balina at iba pa. Kumbaga, kumita na kami, nakakatulong pa kami sa kapaligiran. Sa ngayon, buo ang suporta namin sa LGU at sa DepEd Oroqueta Rectong Guapa. Guyabano, avocado, at papaya. We all believe on the significance of the project, not only to health, but also to livelihood.
Tama po, Kapitan. So it's really a shared responsibility for everyone else in the community for us to have a sustainable living environment. Thank you for that. Madam Nanieth, sa pagkakaalam namin, pagkatapos ng Plant a Tree and Grow With Me program ay susunod naman ang Plant a Fruit Tree and Grow With Me. Paano po ba nabuo ang konsepto ng programa, Madam?
Sa umpasya kasi, Sir Ryan, Sir Richard, nakafocus ang barangay sa pagtatanim ng mga kahoy. And our experience before was masyadong mahal ang mga prutas na ibinibenta sa palengke dahil sa kakulangan ng supply. So naisip ni Mama na prutas naman. Sikat noon ang rambutan, lansones, at durian. So, the LGU gave fruit seedlings to all school children for planting at their backyards, and the teachers were asked to monitor the progress. And then, the LGU also gave seedlings to all graduates as gift from the city. Ang konsepto kasi is, when we talk about program sustainability and the program must be handed from one generation to the next generation, and the children must be our source of inspiration. And so, the local government partnered with the DepEd City Division to strengthen the program and of course, para maumpisahan ang konsepto ng pagtatanim sa murang edad pa lamang. And then, somehow, 10 years after, the dream of our city mayor, my husband, Honorable Lemuel Merrick M. Acosta, that the city will be known as the Orchard City of the South will be realized.
Sobrang inspiring naman ang programs ng Oroqueta City, Madam. And you know what? This would really make a big difference in our environment. And at this time, may we ask, of course, our schools division superintendent from Oroqueta City, Sir Manuel, how different is the concept of Project WAPA from Plant a Fruit Tree and Grow With Me?
Sir Ryan and Sir Richard, pagdating ko rito sa Oroqueta City, as Schools Division Superintendent, nakita ko na ang potential for a community and school-based climate change action. Tapos nalaman ko na meron na palang dating initiatives ang ating LGU sa panahon ni Mayor Ernie F. Bandala at ang kanyang may bahay na si Mayor Nancy S. Bandala. I was inspired and felt motivated because greening program is also my passion. So we try to reach out to the communities, to the barangays, by initiating tree planting activities. Then, we evaluated our school sites at nakita namin ang potential for a sustainable community and school-based food production program that would be able to address climate action, nutrition, and income-generating needs of the community and the schools. Thus, Project Guapa. These are short-term, medium-term, and long-term fruit-bearing trees that would produce fruits year-round. We look deep into the future, no, and we realize, no, that Guyabano and papaya for everyone, they can snack this on, and they can also address malnutrition, and they can also reap its health benefits. For avocado, we are planting the Hass variety, Sir Ryan and Sir Richard, for commercial potential that will provide sustainable income generating sources for our school and communities. Actually, the two programs are more or less the same, Sir Ryan and Sir Richard.
Wow. I just love that idea of making programs with relevance, Sir Manuel. Very proactive move, and it does not consider beauty alone as guapa, but health as well. And I, for one, as a nurse, is very affirmative of that. That's actually, when it comes to health, I would really love to agree with that. And thank you for those initiatives, Sir Manuel. Let's proceed with Ma'am Perlinita, our SGOD chief. How will Project Guapa be sustained, just like the program Plant a Fruit Tree and Grow With Me, Ma'am Pearl?
Sustainability of the program is our prime consideration, Sir Richard and Sir Ryan. We want the program to stay relevant even during the pandemic. So, we consider the Gulayan sa Paaralan at Gulayan sa Tahanan to be the host program. To realize this, we link with our stakeholders, and indeed, our local government unit has supported our Project Guapa by providing us with funds to purchase the seedlings. So, we started distributing the seedlings to all schools. We want the program to be propagated first in school and at home, so we can introduce the program to the community a year after or years after. And through this Project Guapa, we can support the dream of our city mayor, Honorable Lemuel Merrick M. Acosta, to make the city of Oroqueta as the orchard city of the South. Caravan and Sir Richard.
Thank you po, ma'am. And isa na namang makabuluhan at siksik na talakayan ang ating natunghayan tungkol sa climate change mitigation programs and activities. Madam Nanieth, any message for our viewers po, please?
Okay, yes, thank you, Sir Ryan and Sir Richard, for the time and privilege. Of course, the clean and green city of Good Life is inviting you to visit Oroqueta City, and we will bring you to our forest eco parks, our diving sites, the never-been-visited waterfalls, caves, and together, we will discover the hidden beauty of the city.
Wow, thank you so much, Madam Nanieth, for that. At marami rin pong salamat sa ating SDS ng Oroqueta City, Dr. Reynaldo E. Manuel, Junior CESE, our SGOD Chief, Ma'am Perlinita L. Gloduve, at sa punong barangay ng Binuangan, the Honorable Carlito L. Edubala.
Of course. At sa lahat po ng nanonood sa programa natin ngayon, ito panoorin natin ang dokumentaryo ng Oroqueta City. Enjoy!
Before that, we'd like to acknowledge and recognize the presence of our very supportive regional director, Dr. Arturo Bayocot, who's also with us this morning. RD, good morning.
Good morning po, RD.
Let's all watch this video of Oroqueta City.
We all experience it. Extreme hot temperature, long dry season, severe storms, rising sea levels, and we all embrace for the worst to come the threatening effects of climate change. We plant trees, regenerate our mangrove, protect and propagate our forest, sustain livelihood through backyard gardening. All of these are directed towards mitigating climate change. Because in Oroquieta, we innovate for the future.
Mitigating climate change is no longer new to the city of Oroquieta. In fact, with the birthing of Plant a Tree and Grow With Me program, the city has already started to take a step to shield us from the effects of climate change. I am Rani Libero O. Villamin, and welcome to the clean and green city of good life and the home of Project Guapa, Oroquieta City.
Oroquieta City was formerly named Layawan by the early settlers in 1861 after Layao, meaning stray, since a large number of roaming wildlife and natural affluents inhabited the place. Soon, Layawan became a town in 1880. Bounded by the Iligan Bay at the eastern side of the province, the city was become a coastal component city. And not only that, at the western side of the city are the highlands and the towering mountains, thus making the city suitable for flora and fauna protection and propagation.
Over the years, the city has shown immense economic development, along with its major thriving agricultural, trading, and tourism industry. However, along with the development of the city are the threatening effects on the long-protected rich flora and fauna of this city.
Life is an echo. It gives back what you give to it. What you sow, you reap. It is close to 20 years since we started this humble program of Plant a Fruit Tree and Grow With Me. Now we look back and see the fruits of this program. When I became mayor in 2001, I envisioned a greening and growing project that will be championed by our pupils. I imagined this to complement the Barangay Self-Sufficiency Program known as BSSP, also a massive greening program of my late husband, former Mayor Ernie Bandala.
Daghan sir na Gimalina, mahogani, yung katupag mga prutas na yung mga rambutan, katong lansones. So among gi kuan sir sa barangay, so doon namin ang ada income na muna sa among barangay. So ang nananong pud ana sa amo ang kahoy amo pong gitagaan og share.
This Plant a Fruit Tree and Grow With Me used a simple procedure of school children being given fruit seedlings like rambutan, durian, jackfruits, mangoes, lanzones for planting at their backyards with a hope that these trees will grow with them. Thus the name, Plant a Fruit Tree and Grow With Me. And sure indeed, 5 to 10 years later since this program was started, Oroquieta City has experienced an abundance of fruit harvest, especially during the months of August to October. Today, these trees are still thriving, bearing fruits, and giving faith, which means fruits always in the home for good health and economic prosperity. And the school children, now adults, some professionals, married with children, and even their children's children can still enjoy the benefits of said program for a long time.
With us is Ma'am Zarisa Lim Agad. Good morning, Ma'am. And I've heard that you were one of the recipients of the Plant a Tree and Grow With Me.
I was about 9 years old ato nga time, mga grade 3 to grade 4 gid to siya ato sa Pine Central School ko sa una elementary days. Well, klase-klase sir, na ay rambutan, na apoy lanzones, og na apoy durian. Ang nabilin karon no kay ang amuang durian diri sa kuan sa akong lolo, lote sa akong lolo. Lami gid siya nga klase. Basta tingbo nga dire dili gid mi maguol kay makakaon gid mi gid. Sa wala na sa among lote, nasa among silingan. Last lang ang mga pamunga adto nakabaligya gid mi kay dili man pud nimo madahan og kaon tanan. So usahay mas may pud nga mabaligya nimo especially sa mga places nga dili pud gani tingbo nga sa ila, makahalin gid ka.
I praise and thank God that today I still live and enjoy the fruits of these trees. I pray that the concept of plant a fruit tree and grow with me will be sustained by schools and teachers, parents and school children, and even the private sector for whatever innovation they can think of. And for sure, these trees will always continue to bear fruits for a healthy generation in a clean and green environment, whether in pandemic or non-pandemic times. So, DepEd City Division, go, go, go! Continue, plant a fruit tree and grow with me for a healthier and greener Oroquieta City.
And so, the division of Oroquieta City initiated the Project Guapa, which is espoused from Plant a Tree and Grow with Me program. To realize the Project Guapa, the local government, the division of Oroquieta City, stakeholders, and community organizations made a concerted efforts to realize the vision of the City Mayor Lemuel Merrick M. Acosta of making the city the orchard city in the South.
The Plant a Tree and Grow with Me has successfully transcended into the different programs with numerous innovations. The Advocacy on Greening program has unceasingly continued in the present administration led by Mayor Lemuel Merrick M. Acosta.
To realize the vision, the Department of Education and the Parents Teachers Community Association gave birth to the Project Guapa of the Gulayan sa Paaralan program. The GU in Guapa stands for Guyabano, A for avocado, and PA for papaya. The Project Guapa is the initiative project of the City Division under the leadership of Schools Division Superintendent Reynaldo E. Manuel Jr. in collaboration with the City Tourism Chair, Mrs. Nanieth Bandala Acosta, the wife of the City Mayor Lemuel Merrick M. Acosta. Project Guapa targets to address malnutrition and promote vegetables and fruits production and consumption among school children.
City Division of Oroquieta City believes that through Project Guapa, there will be a sustainable and continuous provision of healthy food to our learners, and the project will give economic value on our schools and the community.
To date, distribution of fruit seedlings continues with a close coordination between and among the local government, the schools, and the Parents Teachers Association.
Mitigating climate change is a growing concern not of the few, but of all, regardless of the color of the skin. Because the greening of our country today is bracing for the future. Let's plant guyabano, avocado, and papaya. Support and adopt Project Guapa.
Thank you po sa lahat. And Sir Chard, before we let our friends from Oroquieta City go, let us give them a big round of virtual applause for their superb Project Guapa and flowering tree planting.
Yes, and wow na wow ang division of Oroquieta
Yes.
City, Sir Rai. Our second batch of panelists for this morning is from the South Summer capital of the Philippines, division of Balay City. But before that, of course,
Yes.
we'd like to recognize and acknowledge again, we'd like to extend our heartfelt appreciation to
Yes.
our division of Oroquieta City team, led by SDS, Sir Reynaldo Manuel Jr. CESE. Sir Ray, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Sir Rai, we have Ma'am Perlinita Gloduve, of course, our SGOD chief, ever supportive SGOD chief of Oroquieta City.
Thank you po, ma'am.
And together with Ma'am Nanieth Maerl Acosta, First Lady of Oroquieta City, thank you so much, Ma'am, for gracing us this morning. and to include, of course, the Honorable Carlito Edubala, Barangay Chairman of Barangay Binuangan, Oroquieta City. In behalf of the Department of Education Region 10, we all thank you so much for all your participation this morning. Sir Rai?
Okay, Sir Chard, but before that, we know for a fact that we are very thankful of them. We are also amazed, of course, of their setup of their stage. Thank you very much, Sir Manuel. Napakaganda po ng stage nyo.
Yes,
very nice.
That deserves another round of virtual applause.
Yeah, very
for
nice.
a very wonderful presentation of Oroquieta City. Thank you once again, Division of Oroquieta City.
Okay, so at this point, hello once again, Philippines.
And hello again, mga ka-DepEd.
And so you have witnessed the Project Guapa video of Oroquieta City. Of course, Sir Chard, I think you're going to let them see something, a video once again.
Yes, Sir Rai. Before that, of course, I'd like to have that impression. I know that when you were very much impressed with the Division of Oroquieta City's adventure that we've had with their activities and how they showcased the climate change activities and programs of the city, we will now also be amazed with another city that is doing very good when it comes to climate change, adaptation, and mitigation. Here's to a teaser video of the Division of Malaybalay City.
Here it goes.
Why are you planting those trees? Why would you even care for them? Are you really planting those trees? Or are you planting hope?
You served as an example, no?
Yes, I was very proud of that.
Join us in the Regional Climate Change Caravan on November 15, 10 a.m. at DepEd Philippines Facebook page. And rediscover why you plant those trees.
Now let's go to another, again, in this division of Region 10, which is, of course, the division of Malaybalay City, that will also showcase their practices that helps address this global concern on climate crisis.
Yes, so ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause to the representatives of the Division of Malaybalay City, their very own Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Victoria V. Gazo. CESO 5. Ma'am Vicky, good morning.
Assistant Schools Division
Good morning.
Superintendent Aliena, Dajay. Ma'am, good morning also.
Our Senior Education Program Supervisor of the School Governance and Operations Division, Dr. Lorenzo O. Capacio.
And the Division DRM Coordinator, also a good friend of mine, Mr. Jim Danby S. Lucino. And of course, welcome once again to our Regional Climate Change Caravan. Ma'am Vicky, Ma'am Aliena, Sir Lawrence, and Sir Jim, thank you for being with us today, and it's a pleasure to meet all of you.
The pleasure is ours, Sir Ryan and Sir Chard.
Yes, Ma'am Vicky, thank you so much for all your presence and for gracing this event. Now tell us po, Ma'am Vicky, what project is implemented in your division relative to climate change mitigation and adaptation? Yes, Ma'am Vicky, thank you so much for all your
Yeah, before that, I would like to greet our regional director, Sir Art, and also our assistant regional director, Sir Vic, and for you, Sir Richard and Sir Ryan. Well, in the Department of Education, Malaybalay City, aside from the usual implementation of the 4 Rs, reduce, reuse, recycle, and refuse, and the energy saving measure in the office and schools, which is part of our quality management system in the office. This division is serious in protecting our environment and mitigating the effects of climate change as urgent concerns by everyone. In DepEd Malaybalay City, we take this concern seriously by launching and implementing our Icon of Forest program. The purpose of this Icon Forest program primarily is to plant more trees in school and create an instructional tree parks and eventually instructional forest. We make then trees as school landmark so that when you are in higher grounds or flying over Malaybalay City, when you see lush greeneries and cluster and group of trees, then these places are the schools of Malaybalay City. We craft a division policy that requires all school to plant trees in the open and idle spaces in the school site, including areas used as rice fields, cornfield, and planted with sugarcane, except for schools offering agriculture. We partnered with the local government unit and private organization to provide us with seedlings. The LGU also crafted and approved an ordinance supporting our Icon Forest program by providing financial assistance for the tree growing maintenance. This program will also teach our young learners to own the value of trees and the value of preserving the environment and become part of the reforestation of Malaybalay City, which used to be the city within the forest. Currently, our forest cover in the city is thinning. Our mountains is becoming bald and bare, and the temperature is getting warmer. I think this is also true to all places in our country. I hope and pray that this program will continue and more people will join us in this cause, protecting our Mother Earth, our beloved planet. As Kennedy said, together we shall save our planet, or together we shall perish on its flames. Basta malay-balay, di jud ka magmahay. In malay-balay, we are one soul, one division, and one heart in protecting our environment, in saving our planet. Good morning and thank you very much.
Very well said po, Ma'am Vicky. Amazing kayo. And before I proceed, Sir Chard, little did you know that the Assistant Schools Division Superintendent of Malaybalay City is a good family friend of mine and a former neighbor in Barangay Patag, which is, of course, Ma'am Aliena Dajay. So,
Hello,
Doc Aliena,
Ryan.
yeah.
Hello,
Hello
Ryan.
po, Aliena. Just want to ask po, in what way will the Icon of Forest contribute to the climate and disaster resilience?
Good morning, everyone. First, I would like to emphasize that we are doing the Icon Forest. It is not because we are required to do so, but because we like to save the planet Earth in our own way. The Icon Forest project of the Division of Malaybalay greatly contributed in reducing in decreasing the problem on climate change. In every school, including the division office, we are creating carbon sinks in the form of planted trees to reduce the amount of carbon dioxide in the air. We know in basic science that if there are more trees, more carbon dioxide will be absorbed by the plant to be able to use for photosynthesis. So a very simple logic, wherein if we plant trees in the school, we are creating carbon sinks, thus reducing the amount of carbon dioxide in the school, thus making the school cooler. And at the same time, we will be able to provide homes for the wildlife in the area. Being a wildlife education advocate, it is one of my personal mission to bring back the forests to be able to provide home place for our wildlife, especially the Philippine eagle. Thank you, Ryan. And
Thank you
that's
so
it.
much for that, Ma'am Aliena, for that sharing, and that actually touched us. Especially if we are talking about forestation. In fact, I'd like to relate to that when Sir Jim Dandy, your very active Division DRM coordinator, told me maybe a month ago that you actually have your own initiatives on this. And in fact, he is actually proposing for a project relative to forestation as well. So I said, if we are really interested with that, then we have to push her with it because we can, if we only have the guts to do that, because that's for the entire benefit of the environment and of course for all of us who are the inhabitants of our environment. So thank you for that, Ma'am Dajay. And Sir Rai,
sorry to cut
you
off.
are most welcome.
I think Ma'am Vicky has something to add also with regards to the project icon. Ma'am Vicky, please, if you have something to add. Oh.
Yes, sir. In Malaybalay City, in order to actualize this aspiration, we have also implemented, along with this icon of forest, the 3 hour. So every Friday at 3 o'clock, we have this 3 hour. We all of us will go out to parent a tree. So all the division personnel will be at 3 o'clock every Friday. Will care our trees that we have planted in our place here in the office. So that's it. We have our 3 hour and tree parenting.
thank you so much for that, Ma'am Vicky. So that is very clear. The vision of Malaybalay City is foremost in the implementation of climate change, adaptation, and mitigation activities. And with that, as mentioned a while ago, maybe we can ask also our SGOD chief, Sir Lorenzo Capacio. Sir, it was mentioned that you plant in idle lot areas in schools and even in the division office of Malaybalay City. Why is that so, sir?
Yes, sir. Good morning no sa atong host, Sir Ryan and Sir Richard. Yes, Sir Richard. We conducted tree planting and tree parenting activities at the idle lot areas in the schools. We did that because we noticed that we have many schools in our city divisions that have more than 3 hectares of idle land areas. So, we want to make use of it rather than leaving it behind and putting it at risk to be occupied by settlers. We believe that it is also more strategic compared to conducting tree planting activities in distant areas outside the school because it is more accessible for students and personnel for tree planting. As we have observed in the tree planting activities conducted in the distant areas, most trees planted have died because tree parents cannot visit them frequently. So, sir, that's it, sir.
Okay. So thank you very much, Sir Lorenzo. Of course, aside from being very practical, it is so very much effective also put to charge, diba?
Yes, sir, right.
So at this point, I'll be asking, of course, the Division DRM Coordinator, Sir Jim, how is the project implementation ako?
Yes, basically, Sir Ryan, no, its implementation meets challenges like any other projects, and especially that we are in pandemic when movements and mass gatherings are restricted. The biggest challenge that we have right now actually is the few number of native or endemic trees available in the locality, but we are pushing for this project still, no, because as we are finding partners that will help us implement the program. We are happy that we were able to do that. In its first year of implementation, we are happy to inform you, ma'am, sir, that based on the DRM portal, the website that we developed to monitor the tree planting activities in the division, we have around 9,617 trees alive in our schools. So that's a very big number for us in the first year of our implementation. It is still dominated by golden trumpet, no, a foreign tree, but we are happy that among the top 5 trees planted in our schools and in the division office, no, Nara and coconut trees made it to the list. And I would like also to mention that the sixth is Dalawaan. So those are fruit trees and of course native trees. So we are happy. We are happy. No, we believe that we are making progress in our advocacy. I know that once this pandemic is over, we can or we will gain greater momentum on this project. Sir Ryan.
Wow, thank you so much, Sir James. So what else can you add, Sir Rai?
Of course, you know what, despite, of course, the pandemic that we're facing right now, Sir Chine, we managed to have a lot of things to do just to really, have the programs for the climate change. Of course, I think we have to ask also Ma'am Vicky regarding something, Sir Chard. And at this time, by the way, Ma'am Vicky, would you want to say something as a message for, of course, your programs regarding climate change?
Yes, Sir Chard and Sir Ryan. So we are very serious in implementing. Aside from the trees that we are planting, we are also planting a lot of fruit trees in the schools and in the offices. And this year, we started also giving policy direction to our students to plant also trees at home, fruit trees at home, and lawaan tree. We are really campaigning for the planting of lawaan. So because we are more on planting mahogany, but if we are thinking about mahogany, dili gid siya makalabaw sa atong Philippine native tree nga lawaan because it provides food to our wildlife and it is very friendly to the environment. So Malaybalay City is really campaigning for the planting of lawaan as one of the species that we will be planting in the homes of our learners and in the offices and in our schools. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to share our endeavors, our activities that will help in mitigating climate change. We are very honored to be given this opportunity. Maraming salamat po, Sir Richard and Sir Ryan. And of course, maraming salamat, DepEd Region 10.
Thank you so much po, Ma'am Vicky, for that, for sharing all your activities and your advocacies on climate change adaptation and mitigation. That is simply wow, and we would really love to, we appreciate that a lot. Thank you once again, Ma'am Vicky, Ma'am Aliena, Dajay, Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, the SGOD Chief, Sir Lorenzo Capacio, and Sir Jim Dante Lucini, the Division DRM Coordinator. We have learned a lot from you today on your projects and advocacies.
And hopefully also, Sir Chard, makalaag ka sa Malaybalay
Yes,
City.
as soon
Yes, you are most welcome.
Thank you, Ma'am Aliena.
It is our dream that one of these days we will be having schools in a forest or forest in a school.
Wow, thank you so much for that, Ma'am Aliena. And for the entire team of Division Malaybalay, thank you so much, and you are all amazing. With that, we'd like to give, of course, a time, since this is a panel discussion and this is very engaging and interactive. Together with us this morning is our very active and very supportive Regional Director of DepEd Region 10. Would like to give him time for this, as he is also one advocate for climate change adaptation and mitigation. RD, good morning.
Good morning po, RDR.
Good morning to our anchor persons. Magandang umaga. I already have my piece in my earlier canned message, but I cannot let this occasion pass without doing some touch-based conversation with our guests that are featured in this program that we are doing in this regional climate change caravan. And at the onset, I would like to congratulate the featured schools divisions. I know that there's a lot, or apparently our 14 schools divisions also did their share in terms of initiatives that are rooted in the context of our respective schools in 9 cities and 5 provinces of the entire region. We just contain 2 of these best divisions in terms of climate change initiatives, considering the limitations of the platform and the limitations of the time. But we shall stage succeeding episodes on climate change that also feature other divisions initiatives on this program. I'm very happy that Oroqueta City and Malaybalay City are being featured. I saw before my eyes when I visited these 2 divisions that apparently they really are an epitome of the enthusiasm in terms of taking good care of the environment in the little ways possible that they can do. No? And I think the small things that we do or the micro things that we do contribute to the macro effect that we really desire for in terms of mitigating issues regarding climate change. I remember when I was still a high school student in Pagadian City, and Cagayan de Oro is just actually apparently near, and we also check on the updates on the different locations of Mindanao. There has been no flood in the past. In Cagayan de Oro, I haven't recalled that in my high school years, our cities or our places in Mindanao have been flooded. But now, especially in 2015, 2014, and 13, and even in 2011, we noted that we were hit by calamities, and flood has been part of the challenges that we continue to face time after time. Even if it is just rainfall or heavy rain, it will already create floods, especially in our streets. And if we compare to the past years, there has never been like this. No? And ultimately, this really proves that our situations now really change. And if we would like to, I think first and foremost, we should know the difference between the weather and climate. And these 2 things are not really the same. If we talk about weather, these are short term and these are only for limited areas and can change rapidly. And of course, these are difficult to predict, or these are even unpredictable. Weather is what's happening outside of our windows right now. No? If we take a look outside, then that's weather. But if we talk about climate, it is the average of many years weather observations. So meaning the seasonal weather, or the weather that's happening unpredictably time after time that we experience, well, this consolidates the average of what climate is into our areas. This is long term, and the area is really quite wide. The changes are seasonal, which can also be predicted and measured over the long spans of time. And we know that there are factors affecting this. I do not like to dwell on the factors. Many have been said about this, and especially on the greenhouse effects. And the challenge is, what do we do? And what shall we do to contribute in terms of changing or mitigating these issues? No, for example, the effects of the climate change, the warming and the sea level rise will continue and will probably occur more quickly than what we already have seen and experienced. And even if greenhouse gaps are stabilized, this will probably continue to occur in centuries. Some effects of this may even be permanent. And the coral systems and other unique ecosystems cannot handle higher temperatures well. Wildfires will increase. Well, we have seen that on TV, that even in California, in some other parts of US, and even Australia have experienced the wildfires. Then up to 30% of species will be at increased risk for extinction due to the rapid changes in their ecosystems, whether it's calamity, through calamities, or man-made. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, these are just within our midst, and we really have to take actions on it. We cannot just wait for things to happen. We cannot just wait for things to happen without initiating some programs in the Department of Education, especially that the education process is large in our shoulders. No? Well, the best thing that we really are doing concretely is integrating the lessons on climate change in our curriculum. may it be in the teaching of science, the teaching of other subjects, and in the many disciplines that we teach in different learning areas. That's very concrete. And it all starts with educating people. But of course, it's not just about developing the awareness of the cognition, but backed up with concrete, tangible programs that the department or our schools can create. I've been to Oroqueta City. I've gone around the schools during my visits. And yeah, Project Wapa, I saw that. And it is really not just about climate change. It's also about making the school arrestingly beautiful and immaculately clean by looking at the greens that surround. Well, in the beautification of the school, for example, we see a lot of torn tires that are painted, stones that are painted. And well, I appreciate this, but I appreciate more if the colors of the campuses really are brought about by the green scenery, because we have planted flowers and trees that surround the areas. Matter of fact, the strong point of Oroqueta City is the partnership with the local government unit in terms of rigorously supporting the tree planting advocacies of the city government and the activities for tree planting. I have even joined one of the tree plantings in some schools. I also had ceremonial planting in the school campuses, and even in Misamis Oriental, I did that to many schools that I have visited, and of course in Malaybalay City. We have to capitalize on the abundance of our localities. Well, Lanao del Norte is known to be the land of bounty and beauty. And if we speak of bounty, then I think what they are trying to really feature is really about the greens that they really have. No? Again, as what I've said, I appreciate the paintings to make the school very attractively looking. But more than that are really the natural greens that are supposed to be the inspiration of beautifying and making our schools having good looks. We have so many programs already in DepEd before. We have SIGA, School in the Garden. We also have WOW, the War on Wastes. We also have Gulayan sa Paaralan. At marami pong iba. At ito po ay nanganak nung nagkaroon kayo ng contextualized programs on climate change. And you have mentioned all those like Malaybalay Icons and the Guapa and all that in the different schools these are being contextualized. One example is the Nexus program of Esperanza National High School in Misamis Oriental. And there's a lot. We cannot just enumerate them all, but as we continue to go around the schools, we see this strength, even for the fact that yes, last year and now we are still on education distance learning delivery. But it did not stop from our teachers and our school leaders to really ensure that we mitigate the issues on climate change by doing our shares. Bukidnon schools, practically and generally, really are prepared for the restoration of limited the implementation of limited face-to-face. And part of the preparation is to ensure the greens that are installed in the schools and not just about attractive paint colors. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we really have to do the minor things that we can invest to be able to contribute to the macro effect we desire for in terms of climate change. And it doesn't really have to be measured by the financial resources that we are able to generate, little as they may. It contributes to the big effort. I'd like to end my talk by sharing you again one of my favorite stories about February 14 celebration in a school where grade 4 class is tasked to really to play the Romeo and Juliet, William Shakespeare's tragedy, very famous. No? And when this grade 4 class is tasked to play the Romeo and Juliet, they did some rehearsals, and there's this one boy named Tony that was not proud of his role. As a matter of fact, he did not tell his parents that he's part of the play, and the parents learned already from a friend or from a neighbor that Tony is part of the play. And so the parents said, "Why did you not tell us? well, it's going to still be on Friday, and we would like to cancel our appointments with your dad and mom because we want to really see and support your performance in the play. But Tony said, no, you don't have to waste your time. I do not really have a big role, or I'm nothing in the play. But surprisingly, the parents really insisted to go. And during the play, the the parents of Tony were seated in the front row. And when the play was going on until it was finished, it received a standing ovation from the audience because of the beauty, the wonder, the fabulous performance of the actors in the play. Everybody was really giving appreciation to the play. Tony was there, and the parents approached Tony at the edge of the stage. Congratulations, son. You have made us very, very proud. But Tony said, you're just kidding. How can you be proud of what I did? I did nothing. I did not even have a talking part. What I did is just to sway the big banana leaf from left to right, from the beginning towards the end of the play. I don't know how was it structured. But Tony was just really waving the leaf left and right. But the parents were really very sincere of appreciating what Tony did in his role. And so to explain to Tony that what he did is still something good, the mother told Tony, the wristwatch that you are wearing is, I think, the one I gave you during your birthday. Can you please remove that and try to check the back face of it? And the back face of the wristwatch was very transparent, where every single part can be seen. And so the mother said, Tony, what did you see in the back face of your wristwatch? And Tony said, well, I see parts, even the smallest, the minutest part. I can see it here from the outside. And the mother said, what do you think will happen to your wristwatch if I will remove the smallest part of it? Tony said spontaneously, well, hindi na po yan gagana, hindi na andar, hindi na po yan magsasabi ng tamang oras. You know, Tony, you are the smallest part of the play. If I will remove you in the cast of the play, it would not have been as fabulous as it was because your role is still very essential. I think you know that in filmmaking, you can interview film directors. In filmmaking, there are no big roles or small roles. Every single role is very important. So with that, in our efforts of climate change, whether you're just doing a planting of a very small tree, or even just planting a tree or a dozens of tree, or whatever you do, it will contribute to the biggest effect we really desire for to mitigate the greatest challenge of climate change. It's not just Balay-Balay, it's not just Oroqueta, it's everybody's business, teachers and learners. And I think we should take pride of what we have contributed to this big challenge that confront us so that we shall enjoy the fruits of our hard labors, no matter what that is. Thank you very much. Congratulations to the host, Richard, and to
Ryan.
Ryan, the sikat na anchorman ng Cagayan de Oro City.
Yes.
And we hope this is just one of the many climate change caravan in the series to continue inculcating in the minds of our people, especially our learners and teachers, that climate change is also a responsibility of the Department of Education. And how else can we be credible if we don't start doing our shares? Ika nga, charity begins at home. So we should do our share to contribute to the larger picture of the whole effort. Maayong buntag, congratulations, and maraming pong salamat.
Thank you so much, RD, for that very insightful message and inputs that actually leaves us to a thought that our own micro efforts to each one of us will create a macro effect into our entire environment. Thank you so much for that, RD. And yes, right?
Of course, Sir Chair, if you managed to hear the story of RDR, everybody is essential. Of course, again, there's no small or big rules in this kind of scenario that we're having right now. So at this point, we are honored and, of course, privileged that still from the city of Balay, we have this morning a national awardee for National Gawad Saka Award in the year 2006 in the family category. a coffee doctor of Philippine Coffee Alliance, and a farmer scientist of Agri-Training Institute of Department of Agriculture and DOST Region 10. Sir Chard?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the owner of Mount Kitanglad Agri-Tourism Farm, Mr. Benjamin M. Maputi Sr. Sir, good morning.
Thank you very much, Sir Richard and Sir Ryan. Good afternoon.
It's already afternoon.
I'm very much thankful that I'm invited on this event regarding to say about something on my farm, rainforestation and planting trees.
Yes, sir.
So,
And we have learned that you have rainforest preservation at Mount Kitanglad Agri-Tourism Farm. Was it hard to maintain? What are the challenges that you encountered?
well, this rainforestation is a Haribon Foundation scheme before, and now it was given to us a privilege to plant a tree, different kind species of trees, so that ang atong biodiversity mapabalik. These trees, plenty of trees, lalo na itong mga trees na pagkain ng mga ibon. Dahil wala nang pagkain ang mga ibon sa ating kapaligiran. But now, because of this rainforestation that I have made, these trees are more than 10 years already. So plenty of birds already are coming up. Even bats, even these civet cats are there already to eat what is the fruits of these trees. Endemic species of trees like bitanghol, daog, and kaningag, like that. So now, if you can have a chance to see my rainforestation project, a 3 hectares rainforestation project now, wherein still we can see how long already these trees were planted.
Wow, it's quite really a feature. And hopefully, maka-adto mo to Sir Chard, no?
Soon,
yeah,
sir.
yeah, yeah. But of
Thank
course,
you kung
sir,
makapunta kayo doon.
yeah, of course, sir. My question is, what's your motivation? What drives you to, take care of this rainforest, even though it's, it's quite, it's quite hard on you.
There's no quite hard what you say in my rainforestation because it is my obligation also about our environment that we can get better photosynthetic activity on our area. This rainforestation, I planted 4 by 2 meters in between. And because it is a problem to help us in mitigating, so I plant also coffee trees within the center of that 4 meters so that while waiting that these trees will grow up, I have already a harvest of coffee Arabica because this Arabica coffee will produce fruit 1.5 years. It will produce already berries.
Wow, thank you so much for that, Sir Benj. And that gives us actually an idea of doing those things.
Yeah.
Because during pandemic, it has been the trend that people are being agriculturists, farmers, into flowers. But with your advocacy, that actually give us an idea that there is so much to do for our ecosystem. Yet, Sir Benj, many now are conducting tree planting activities without minding if the trees they plant fit to the ecosystem of the area that they are planting. What is your message for them?
Okay, I have also many trees planted. Exotic species from Australia and from Indonesia, but for food processes of our birds and civet cats and this bats, like musisi, like this indigenous species, this Australian oak tree, plenty. But what I said in rainforest, in tree planting, our government have given so plenty of project planting of trees. Can you remember during the time of this highway wherein we planted plenty of trees? But now, is there plenty of trees alive? None. Because we are given only those trees, but for maintenance, nothing at all. At least, if we will plant a tree, prepare that for 3 years so that they can survive. And after 3 years, okay. Even though if we will no longer sustain their life, they will go strong already, height of very high already. That is what I had observed. But for me, for us, a privately owned farm wherein there is that your plan to plant a tree, then it happens very nice.
Okay,
That's it,
so
sir.
yeah, thank you very much, Sir Manuel. Indeed, your program is like hitting two birds with one stone, especially with the hardwood trees and likewise the planting of the coffee. And of course, we are indeed very glad to have you with us this morning. Sir Chard?
Yes,
So,
Sir Ryan.
but I'm just thankful, sir, if you will visit our farm, our tourism farm within this area of Malaybalay City. Because before, I am also the barangay captain of this Imbayaw Barangay for 3 terms. And now, my wife is now the barangay captain. Thank you.
So thank you so much for that invitation, Sir Bench, and we are so glad with that. Soon we will be visiting you there in Malaybalay City. It was really
Thank
an
you,
honor
God
to
bless.
have you here. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
for
God bless.
Moving forward, Malaybalay City is the capital city of Bukidnon and is a first-class component city. But would you believe, Sir Ryan, that despite its status as being a first-class component city, there lies a secret garden?
Oh, really?
Yes, Sir Ryan. And to learn more about this, let us watch this video prepared by the DepEd Division of Malaybalay City.
Okay, you know what, Sir Chard? I am very much excited of the documentary video that the Division of Malaybalay City has prepared for all of us. Let's all sit back, relax, and enjoy the secret nature discovery. Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen.
Enjoy watching the Jaya Secret Garden.
Good and green morning, mga ka-DepEd. This is Teacher Jerry again for the Institutional Conservation of Forests, or ICON Forests, brought to you by the Department of Education, Malaybalay City Division. This is still in observance of the National Climate Change Consciousness Week to promote climate change mitigation and adaptation. And today, we are going to feature Jaya's Secret Garden. Eureka! I found it! Hindi ito chismis at lalong hindi ito fake news. Legit po to. Alam niyo ba na may secret garden dito mismo sa gitna ng Malaybalay City, the city within the forest? At yun nga, nakita ko na, I found it. Let's meet our tour guide, the owner of JS Secret Garden himself. At ililibot po tayo ni Sir Juna Bayan at an outstanding teacher from Bukidnon National High School. Good morning, Sir Juna. Yes, how are you po?
Good morning, sir. I'm fine and I'm grateful na ako.
What caused you, sir? Ano pong naging nakita niyo pong problema? Bakit po kayo kung sa yung tinguha o tumong nga nung nagpunta ka aning JS Secretary, sir?
Nung establish na ako is way back 2010. It's because of natanawan ako idol din sa area. Basurahan siya sa una with water tubod yun siya in the heart of the city yun, no? Ako sa nga tubig kaya ihimo basurahan sa mga tao puno kayo na sa basura niya among gi-rehab. Then since napoy challenge sa among health, nag-motivate po namin nga mag-go into organic backyard gardening. I just realized na ang na-practice namin 10 years ago, nag-grow siya nga nag-grow, hanggang tayo nga naimot na siya, na murag matuna na siya, or living laboratory. And why is it nga na problem sa atong society? It's because I believe there's problem in our soul. Why is it, for me, why is it nga na problem sa atong soul? It's because in my 10 years of experience in having this ecosystem, biodiversity within my yard, nakita na ako nga naanagay problema atong mga soil. When, in fact, naatay water source nga naadiri sa tungapit sa syudad, naigwapo nga yuta, pero gihimong basurahan. And exactly the situation of the Philippines, of our earth today is ingon ana siya, we have very rich resources, pero atong ginapatay ang ato ang soil fertility and ang ato ang that causes nga ang ato ang production gales, ang ato ang profit dili siya kuan yun i-compare mo sa other country, no? Yes. sa mga farming activities mas gwapo ang profit sa other country, but here sa ato kuan siya aside sa dili kay siya productive, resulted nga low ang profit, much more with sustainability. So I guess with that point, nakita na ako nga kinahanglan ako ipag-grow pag yun mag-grow kini nga garden kay magtabanggit siya sa pag-solve sa atong problem sa soil, sa atong mga soul that causes bigger problems sa atong society, and climate change is one.
Sa paglilibot namin sa JS Secret Garden, napag-alaman natin na mayroon humigit kumulang 87 klase o species ng halaman ang nagkasya sa maliit na hardin na ito. Marami rin kanina kitang ginagawa nila bilang pagtugon sa climate change. Ilan sa mga ito ang mga sumusunod. Paggawa ng rain catching mechanism para sa patubig ng kanilang mga ponds at halaman. Paggamit ng sirang gulong bilang hagdanan at proteksyon na rin para sa soil erosion. Paggamit ng mga used plastic containers bilang lalagyan ng mga halaman. Pag-implementa ng zero waste gardening kung saan ang mga waste products ng halaman ay ginagawang pagkain ng mga hayop at ang waste products ng mga hayop ay ginagamit bilang pataba. Pagkakaroon ng concoctions and extracts area kung saan ang mga byproducts ng mga halaman ay hinahalo sa mga microorganisms para gawing natural fertilizers and pesticides. Paghalo ng kitchen waste at microorganisms para makapag-produce ng healthy na tubig na pandilig sa mga halaman.
How long has this secret been going on?
2010, as I started gulayan sa paaralan sa Pino National High School, Annex San Jose. Experiencing everything there kay wala mo ko'y, dili mo ko agriculture major. I'm a MAPI teacher. Pero since sa among school sa una, wala may lalaki ako ipandol sa gardening sa school. Having this 2,100 square meter na yuta within the city, yuta sa ako ang father-in-law, Mr. and Mrs. Serafin Astudillo, nakita na ako nga potential siya. So, it started there sa 2010. Pagka 2014, nahimo siyang learning site sa agriculture. 2017, nahimo siyang school for practical agriculture na. Dahil the same year, 2017, nahimo ko siyang accredited na TESDA school offering organic agriculture production in situ and landscape installation and maintenance in situ. And last 2018 na award din siya ng garden as silver awardee in the entire country sa urban
Wow,
garden.
what's in a name? Bakit Jaya? Why not your name,
It is
Sir
inspired.
Jaya?
It is inspired with the name of my daughter, nga si Jaya,
Okay.
because I believe para niya sa ilaha, sa mga new generation,
Yes.
what we are doing right now, why we are having these documentaries, it's not for you, it's not for me
Yes.
alone, but most importantly with our new generation. So I named it with my daughter Jaya. And why is it secret? Since this is in the heart of the city,
Yes.
wala lang syudad, pero napa ang biodiversity. You can observe here, mga backpack pa, makikita pa niyo mga backpack, kadungog pa mga backpack dili. Ayun, naapagit ang ecosystem, naapag na rin kami.
Noong bumisita ang ating team sa Jaya's Secret Garden, hindi natin nakapanayam ng maigi si Jaya sapagkat bago pa lang siya nabakunahan kontra COVID noon. Kaya minabuti naming makausap ng masinsinan si Jaya sa pamamagitan ng Zoom. Nagagalak tayo at tayo pinaunlakan niya. Kung ang lahat ng kabatay kagaya ni Jaya, abay tiyak na may malaking pag-asa ang ating bayan.
Hi, good morning there, Jaya. How are you?
Good morning. Hi.
Ano ang iyong daily routine dyan sa garden ninyo, Jaya?
Every day, I wake up at 5:30 in the morning. First namin ginagawa is mag-pray ng family ko. After that, lalabas na kami sa bahay and I'll be bringing my segregated kitchen waste. Tapos, itatapon ko yun sa aming composting area. After nun, I'll feed the ducks, the chicken, our hogs, and our worms, and our fish. Pagkatapos nun, pupunta ako sa aming nursery para i-check at diligan yung mga seedlings namin.
Then, at the end, yung sa mga bandang hapon na, Jaya, bago ka matulog, do you still say goodbye to your plants and animals in your farm?
Yes.
How does it feel, no, being surrounded, always hearing the sounds of the ducks, of the frogs? Parang, how do you feel? Hindi ba parang na-disturbo o parang in a different way sa'yo na parang, wow, this is music to my ears when I wake up, like that. Parang nagiging alarm mo ba sila?
Oo, alarm ko sila lalo na pag mga 5 to 5:30 in the morning. Alarm talaga yung mga ducks namin, tapos yung mga birds. Lalo na talaga yung mga birds, ang iingay nila. Pero it's like a music na you should wake up na and then do your work. Ganun.
Kailan ba, Jaya, nagsimula ang iyong interes sa pag-aalaga ng mga halaman at hayop? How young were you then?
During nung na-install ng aking mga magulang ang aming zero waste garden, maybe grade 1.
Oh, you were really very young then, no? Siguro you were just like your younger brother today. You were just playing. You did not actually know na, ay, ganito na pala yun. But you were actually doing it na. Okay. Now, proud ka pa sa ginawa ng iyong ama, itong sa Jaya Secret Garden, at bakit ka proud?
I'm so proud of my parents' legacy dahil while I'm growing up in all aspects of my life, through this ecosystem in our yard, nagkaroon na rin ako ng buhay na living laboratory that motivates me to be productive while sustaining our environment.
I've heard from your dad, from Sir Jonas, that ikaw daw ang parang nagtutour, parang nagiging tour guide ng mga bisita dyan, Jaya.
Oo, ako yung tour guide sa amin dito. Yung isa talaga na di ko nakakalimutan is yung nag-tour yung whole class namin, yung mga classmates ko, para tignan nila kung ano yung nasa garden namin.
Wow. At least you served as an example, no?
Yes, I was very proud of that.
Yes, and they can always do this even at their homes, no? So that will lead us, Jaya, to our next question. Ano ang mensahe mo? What can you say sa kapwa mong kabataan, lalo na yung mga estudyante, no, hinggil sa climate change, adaptation at mitigation?
My message to the youth, including their parents, and to everybody in this world, let us think globally and act locally. Paano po ba ito gagawin? Let us visit mga backyard gardens, mga small na garden, and may ecosystem, and be inspired. This is a family consumption garden lang din, pero this is an example to everybody that nakakatulong pa rin to sa inyo.
Hi there! Yes! Mission accomplished! There, bye-bye! Ngayon, we just finished. No, ang dami ko pong nalaman na malihim ko sa Ajea's Secret Garden right in the heart of the city within the forest, which is Malaybalay. One of the lessons I've learned that nature is not a place to visit. It is a home. Yes, tama po. This is again Teacher Jerry Java again for institutional conservation of forests or icon forest brought to you by the Department of Education, Malaybalay City.
Wow, thank you so much. And that actually shows the Jaya's Garden, Secret Garden of Malaybalay City. It really amazed us. I know it gave a lot of lessons and insights as well to students who are actually aspiring to have a farm like that.
But also teachers are trying.
Yes, yes, right. That even within a city, we can actually have that embrace of nature.
Correct.
So for those who would like to have that, we can hopefully visit soon Jaya Secret Garden at Malaybalay City.
Yeah.
And that wraps up the panel discussion and the documentary video show of the Division of Malaybalay City. Before we end that, we'd like to express our heartfelt gratitude and appreciation and recognition to the Division of Malaybalay City, headed by SDS Vicky Gazo. Ma'am Vicky, thank you so
Vicky,
much.
thank you po. Thank you very
And
much.
Ma'am ASDS, Ma'am Dajay, together with the SGOD Chief, Sir Lorenzo Capacio, and a very active DRM.
Thank you very much.
Sir Jim. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you for joining us, Ma'am Dajay.
Thank you very much from DepEd Malaybalay, one heart.
One soul,
One division.
one division,
One heart, one soul, one division.
one division.
Daghang salamat!
Bye-bye!
So much.
Sa Malaybalay, dili jud mo magmahay.
Yes.
Yes!
So, Sir Chart, we'd like to go to our shout-outs and greetings.
Yes,
of course.
before we will fully end our activity this afternoon rather, it's already 12:30, I guess, right?
Yeah.
We're about to conclude our regional climate change caravan already, but for some greetings who are still on our Facebook Live, we have from Ma'am Rosalinda Mawas. Wow, Jaya's Secret Garden, keep it up. Division of Malaybalay, congratulations.
Wow. From Merce Duay. Wow, Sir Juna, amazing kayo imong nabuhat. Watching from Lamtapa National High School, your station before. Very amazing yung kayo.
Yes, and I would love to agree with that. And from Ma'am Imelda Umanda, watching from Mansabay Bajo Elementary School.
Okay. From, of course, Ma'am Olga Alonsabe, keep it up, host Richard and Ryan. Ma'am Olga, thank you po.
Thank
Our
you,
utmost
Ma'am
gratitude.
Olga, SDS Olga of El Salvador City Division. I know you too have your own initiatives of climate change adaptation and mitigation in your division, and thank you for that.
Yes. And from Sir Jason Boron, watching from Labo PS of Aluran South District. Misamis Occidental. Okay.
Wow, and good afternoon. Watching from Villaba Elementary School, Tangub City, from Mayla, Taburada, Beloy. Good afternoon.
Also, the same thing from Ma'am Mercy Duay. Good day. Watching from Lantapan National High School.
Yes. And from Agnes Alegrado, good morning. Yes, good afternoon na. Watching from Liluan Central School, Bonifacio West District.
And from Jose Maria Magsalay Jr. Good morning, everyone. Watching from the Division of Cagayan de Oro City, Bonbon National High School.
Wow, Division of Cagayan, good afternoon. And from Ricky Aba, watching from Governor Pilays Elementary School, Medina District, Division of Misamis Oriental.
So at this time, again, Sir Richard, sabi mo mga paniod to na. Okay?
Yes, right.
Yeah. We cannot change the cards we're dealt, just how we play the hand. I believe this statement is very powerful and worth mentioning today. Everything around us is changing, yet much seems to remain the same. In education, changes are happening, and with it comes a lot of challenges, difficulties, and adjustments. Here with us right now is the Regional Director of DNR Region 10 to give his message of interagency support. A round of applause for Arle Homalon Adurable.
Congratulations to the Department of Education Region 10 family, headed by Regional Director Arturo Bayocot, for initiating the Regional Climate Change Caravan as part of the celebration of the National Climate Change Consciousness Week this November 19 to 25, 2021. The month of November is very challenging for us in the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. Challenging in the sense that we in the department is celebrating three equally important activities that is very beneficial not only to us people, but also beneficial to all living things on Earth. First, we are celebrating the National Environmental Awareness Month. Second is the National Clean Air Month, which is one of the priority programs of our very own DNR Secretary, Roy A. Simatu. And lastly, this National Climate Change Consciousness Week with the theme, Klima ng Kinabukasan, Ating Pangalagaan. Republic Act number 9512, or the National Environmental Awareness Education Act of 2008. We are promoting environmental awareness through environmental education. RA 9512 articulates that the state shall promote national awareness of the role of natural resources in economic growth and the importance of environmental conservation and ecological balance towards sustained national development. DENR and DepEd in the national and in the regional levels are partners in creating environmental awareness to the students and the community as well. It is very important to encourage each individual to do his or her share in helping the government fight climate change through the Caravan. In 2009, a search for sustainable and eco-friendly school was organized by the DNR Environmental Management Bureau in collaboration with the Department of Education, Commission on Higher Education, Nestle Philippines, and Land Bank of the Philippines to encourage schools, academic institutions to become more actively involved in environmental issues at a practical and local level. It is geared towards the adoption of behavioral solutions in addressing climate change and other environmental issues. The competition must also aim to initiate active responses and raising community awareness and participation of environmental concerns among students, faculty, and school administrators. Other initiatives on environmental education include Youth for Environment in Schools Organization, or YESO, Tayo ang Kalikasan, or TAC, and TAC Environment and Natural Resources Ambassador projects. Tayo ang Kalikasan is a movement envisioned to be a collaborative effort of the government through the DNR and its citizens toward responsible development and protection of our natural resources. The TAC ENR Ambassador Project also aims to involve students in the protection and conservation of our environment and natural resources through information, education, and communication, advocacy, social mobilization, and partnership building. For Region 10 alone, we have forged several partnerships with the public schools. These activities include students to be involved in waste segregation, recycling, and other forms of solid waste management activities in the respective campuses. With these activities, we would like to give credit to the Department of Education for all the efforts in partnering with the department in the protection and conservation of our environment and natural resources. Before I end up my message, let me share with you a quote from Muhith Agadi. Environment is no one's property to destroy. It is everyone's responsibility to protect. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Regional Executive Director Arley Humalon Adorable of DENR Region 10 for that insightful message and oozing support. You are simply amazing and a true modern hero for our ecosystem and environment, sir.
Okay, once again, sir, thank you. And Sir Chard, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. Ladies and gentlemen, let us always say during the twilight part of the event that I hosted, every alpha has its corresponding omega. Every beginning has its end. And to formally end our program for this afternoon, I will regale the limelight and the microphone to our very supportive Assistant Regional Director of DepEd Region 10. Help me welcome Dr. Victor G. De Gracia Jr., CESO 5. Sir?
Thank you very much, Richard and Ryan, our very seasoned MCs today. Well, hello and hi to everyone. My pleasant greetings to all nationwide. Our deep appreciation and gratitude for the full support of our beloved leaders, USEX, DADS, San Antonio, and Alain Del Pascua, with Director Reynaldo of the Central Office. Also, to DENR Regional Director Arley Humalon Adorable. And of course, our dear Regional Director Arturo de Bayocot for his inspiration. This Regional Climate Change Caravan of Region 10 is made very meaningful to all. Our deep appreciation also to the SDOs and the respective LGUs of Oroquieta City and Malaybalay City for sharing the notable initiatives on greening and nature care. Kudos to Dr. Richard Dragon, our Regional DRRM Coordinator, and the Division DRRM Coordinators for the very successful Climate Change Caravan. The program runs smoothly well. It has brought to the consciousness of all that climate change mitigation is everybody's concern. We cannot afford to destroy the future of our children if we fail to do our share of action now. May the good Lord bless all our efforts and our children's future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ARD, for that. And that marks the end of this program. And yes, that ends our Regional Climate Change Caravan of DepEd Northern Mindanao. We would like to emphasize utmost appreciation and recognition to the following people who made this event possible.
Much thanks to RD Arturo Bayocot, ARD Victor De Gracia Jr., ESD Chief Myron Talosig.
Of course, also to our featured SDOs, Oroquieta City and Malaybalay City, SDS Reynaldo Manuel, ASDS Roberto Napiere, SGOD Chief Perlinita Gloduve, SDS Victoria Gazo, ASDS Aliena Dajay, and SGOD Chief Lorenzo Capacio.
Yes, Sir Chard. Again, to our remarkable speakers, Sir Benjamin Maputi Sr., Madam Nanieth, Maerl Acosta, and Honorable Carlito Edubala.
Yes, Sir Rai, and to the creative force of this event from host SDOs headed by DRM Coordinator of Oroquieta City, Ma'am Connie Centino, and Sir Cesar Baldero and their entire division team. The same recognition is extended to the DRM Coordinator of Malaybalay City, Sir Jim Dandy Lucini and his creative team.
To all our division and school DRM coordinators and climate change adaptation and mitigation advocates, to the ESD team in the regional office, and the ICT experts, of course, here with us. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much, especially to our IT here who is standing together with us, Sir Ralph Mapulay. And to all those who extended their help and effort, we are forever grateful of that. Special thanks to my wife, Milka Dragon, who worked with me even on weekends for this activity to be victorious. Thank you too for the video editor, Mr. John Mark Digamon of SDO Misamis Oriental, and Routes, Prints, and Supplies for the useful advocacy materials and supplies we have.
Again, this has been a success, and we share to you this feat of making a change for climate change.
Yes, think green and let us all make it happen. Let us all help our environment with its challenge of time and modernization. Let us all do our share of saving our Mother Earth.
This is your Eco Warrior and Division DRM Coordinator of Cagayan de Oro City, Ryan Blanco.
And this has been your Eco Warrior and Regional DRM Coordinator, Richard Dragon. Mabuhay po tayong lahat!
Bye,
Happy
everyone.
lunch, everyone. Thank you so much.